This UFC Fight Island edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code SGP for up to $1,000 in bonus bets. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGP to play, win, and get paid. We're also teaming up with All Things Comedy to run back the 2019 NFL playoffs via Madden Sims and giving away $10,000 in MyBookie credits. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC for all that info. At sportsgamblingpodcast.com/ATC. We're also brought to you by Ace Per Head. Ace is the leader in pay-per-head providers, and they make it super easy to start your own sportsbook. Plus, Ace is offering up to 6 weeks free over at aceperhead.com/SGP. That's aceperhead.com/SGP. Finally, we're brought to you by Cushy Dreams. Cushy Dreams is a new company with a full line of premium smokable CBD. Now shipping legally to all 50 states. And if you use the promo code SGP, you get 15% off. That's KUSHY dreams.com, promo code SGP. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer Dog?
Money.
Are you talking about all the dollars I won off you in our latest round of Sims?
No, I was talking about how much this is just a badass plot to a movie about ballers. We're going to an island and we're fighting.
We're heading to Fight Island.
What more could you want?
Of course. I mean, it's got an island. It's got fighting. It's got no rules. I mean, UFC's not paying us for this promotion, but God damn it. Don't you just get the pay-per-view specifically off someone calling it Fight Island?
Yeah. I mean, when the news broke that they had trademarked or what copyrighted Fight Island, it was like, oh, fucking genius. Like,
hell yeah, man. Say what
you
will.
Say what you will about Dana White. This is the kind of shit we need right now. The guy's finding a way, even though Disney shut him down the first time, he's finding a way to bring entertainment to the people, just like Caesar and some of the great emperors.
They also went to an island.
They also went to an island.
Put Czechoslovakian guys in cages and had them fight it out for less than probably they should be making on the open market. Because God bless the U.S. And I mean, yeah, kudos to Dana White for making
to do it safely.
I mean, it's awesome that he's making sports happen. He's getting it going.
Hell yeah.
We're going to be joined by Rich Slayton. And all the UFC lines that we'll be talking about with Rich. Of course, you can get over at mybookie.ag. Use that promo code SGP. Mybookie.ag promo code SGP to get all these UFC lines, and they got them all up. They got a little, they mess around. They give you a little prop action as well.
No, not the props.
They do it. They give you an over under. Of course, we'll probably be mostly focusing on the money line and listening to Rich because he really knows what he's talking about. And
that's why we bring the professionals.
I'm talking out my ass. One thing I do know about though, however, is the Philadelphia Eagles and professional athletes, very well versed in both those things. And DeSean Jackson, breaking news. Turns out he's a huge fucking idiot. He took some photos of some quotes from a book that had that were attributed to Hitler, and then the quotes turned out to be fake. But that's not really the point. They were something about like Jews controlling black people, whatever. Very anti-Semitic stuff. And then he puts it out on the internet and. Takes a huge shitload, big storm, and then kind of apologizes, but it's not an amazing apology. And now they're going back and forth. First off, I don't think DeSean Jackson has hate in his heart, and that's not to make an excuse for him.
He might have some hate.
He hates the Cowboys, which you're allowed to hate.
That's cool, yeah.
And I'm not making an excuse for him. He deserves to be punished. I don't think they should cut him because that would punish guys like me and guys like Carson Wentz. And he's really fast, and I don't think you cut guys who are really fast. The real reason that's where I stand now. If he choked his pregnant wife, that's a different conversation.
Wow, okay, to there.
If he was like burning a cross on someone's lawn, which again, even if you do
you're going extreme. Here.
He's clearly moronic because if you do the math, Hitler not a huge fan of black people as well. From what I know of World War II history, which is way more than DeSean Jackson, who clearly doesn't know anything. No. And again, it's not an excuse. It just is what it is. You don't realize unless you've worked with like professional athletes how incredibly dumb they are.
Let's talk about Gronk.
And I love Gronk, but he knows Hitler was bad. Now, say what you will about. And whatever you would put in the prompter, he would read. He wouldn't read Hitler is awesome. He knows that Hitler's not cool, and I stand by that. Now,
Mussolini, he might.
DeSean Jackson, he was a guy. What dumb guys do when they want to sound smart is they come off as intellectuals.
Books are smart.
DeSean Jackson's like y'all. Everyone's talking about books and race and being intellectual. Oh man, I'm going to hit him with this. I'm going to hit him with that new knowledge, blow people's minds. And then everyone's like, no, dude, that was actually the exact opposite of what you need to do. And, or say you made things insanely worse. I bet he still doesn't know why people are mad at him. And I think he is legitimately good friends with Howie Roseman, the GM, and Jeffrey Lurie, the owner. He loves those guys and they seem to like him a lot. So, what it comes down to is that he's a complete moron. And I was listening to a podcast talk about it, and they go, and they're like, you know, they really got to educate these people. The school system has to educate these, as if society and the education system failed DeSean Jackson. DeSean Jackson went to an accredited public high school and then went to Cal Berkeley. Well, at some point, one of those teachers mentioned that Hitler was bad and then he killed a bunch of people. DeSean Jackson missed out, decided, hey, I'm really fast. I don't need to learn, which is the correct decision to make.
He did well.
There are some negative side effects that he's experienced. So find him. He's doing, he's teaming up with a rabbi. I shit you not, teaming up with a rabbi to learn and educate himself. And so I support DeSean Jackson's education and not his ignorance.
The world is a crazy place right now.
It is a crazy place.
Imagine 12 months ago. I go, hey Sean, DeSean Jackson is going to come out and say some anti-Semitic stuff, and then team up with a rabbi.
Well, yeah, and I just imagine him instead of the do-rag under the helmet, he's got like a yarmulke or like a
he's definitely going to be one of those
nice Star of David gold chain to like just show he's all in.
But it's not like we're talking about like, hey, let's ask 100 random people off the street who Tavares Jackson is. Yeah. We're asking 100 people off the street who Tom Brady is. You know what I mean? Like Hitler is the Tom Brady of history. Yeah, hard to get by
fucking wheel, man,
without hearing about this guy.
Now,
he was a system guy. Once the axis of evil broke down, where were his championships?
He would have never succeeded without Mussolini. And everyone's giving Hitler the credit.
What did he do after Stalin left? What did he do?
Everyone's giving Hitler credit for being the worst piece of shit in history, but Mussolini really did a lot of heavy lifting, set up that system. So again, DeSean Jackson, you just need
Adolf.
You need to take photos of different books. That's what I'm getting at.
All right, listen, you can literally, I mean, I'm sure you can hire someone who you would call a social media manager for like what, 50 grand a year.
Yes.
Just like, this is the guy, like you got to have the guy to drive you places. Now Uber kind of, you don't need that. No excuse to get a DUI. Got to have the guy to carry the gun. Cause that's what Chris Carter tells us.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he goes to jail, no big deal. And you got to have the guy to check your book facts.
Anything you want to do, load into drafts. DeSean will come through, take a look.
How much should we charge for this service?
Well, maybe we're not the ones to probably thrown off a couple tweets, not pro Hitler tweets. Again, it was just so funny listening to this Eagles podcast. And
unbelievable.
And like halfway through this like serious conversation of like, and what Hitler did was unforgivable, and the humanity he killed, and they had a dynamically inserted ad like right in the middle of him talking about how bad Hitler is, and it's like, sign up today over at mybookie.ag, promo code SGP. It wasn't my bookie, but I'm a company man, and so I crowbarred them into the mention.
That's great, dude.
All right, this is fun. It's Fight Island time, but before we get to Rich and Fight Island, shout out to another one of our friends, and that's Ace Per Head, baby. What if you wanted to become your own small business owner? What if you wanted to become a sportsbook, right? All you got to do, go to aceperhead.com/SGP. aceperhead.com/SGP. Get up to 6 weeks free. All you do is got to sign up. It's so easy. Even DeSean Jackson could figure it out. And he's a guy who doesn't know that Hitler's bad. Very easy to set up. Turnkey operation. They get the website going. Again, very simple. aceperhead.com/SGP. aceperhead.com/SGP. Joining us on the line, stand-up comedian, esports announcer, and MMA expert, Rich Slayton. Rich, good to talk to you.
Hey, it's great to be here as always. I can't wait to talk about the Dr. Evil style predicament we're about to be in with this weekend's fights.
Yeah, I mean, Kramer and I
love the call out to Dr. Evil, the island, Fight Island.
It does feel like something right out of a movie, and I don't know. I mean, I kind of coming in and out a little bit of the UFC, but when I hear something like Fight Island, man, lock me in. That it just the idea, and maybe it just ends up being a regular UFC fight that happens to be on a beach or whatever. But the idea is just so awesome to throw a bunch of people on an island, have them fight it out. What is actually different about Fight Island than a regular UFC event?
Well, what we haven't had confirmed yet, that as far as I know, is whether the fights are actually taking place outdoor on the beach or they're inside on a facility actually on the island somewhere. The UFC, or there's been fights outdoors in the past. They really aren't a good plan, especially when it's as hot as it is over in Abu Dhabi. So I think it's probably going to be inside, probably going to be pretty similar. We'll have some nice shots of beaches, but I think this ups the ante. Next, it's going to be Fight Pit. Then you do it on like Fight Helicarrier. Right? Get something that flies and have them fight while someone tries to balance that out. Yeah. Let's get wild.
You got to keep leveling up like the old school video games, right?
Well, yeah. It's similar to the Fast and Furious movies. You just go to different places, bring in different characters. UFC Antarctica, where they just fight on a giant block of ice.
You have to deal with polar bears and great white sharks. They were speaking a lot about when Qatar was going to host the World Cup. They were talking about these sun shields they were going to build and this outdoor like cooling system. Now this would be an awful cool time for some Abu Dhabi company to highlight some ridiculous piece of tech. Perhaps that we're going to see an indoor situation. I thought it might be interesting because the temperature is ridiculous. It obviously probably needs to be inside, but the acoustics of those fights when they're inside and there's no fans there, it just takes so much out of it. So at least if you're outdoors, you have that.
You just hear like the quiet ocean, the waves hitting while someone's getting their skull cracked.
Someone gets knocked out, and you just see a bunch of birds all woo style go around the background.
Well, you know what they need is like that device that Mr. Burns wanted to get going in The Simpsons that blocks out the sun.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, with the way that Abu Dhabi does business, I wouldn't be surprised if their sun shield is just a bunch of people that they've forced into labor to physically block the shield as a human pyramid.
Was that South Park, the South Park movie? Operation maybe not appropriate now, but Operation Hide Behind the Darkie or whatever it was. Human Wall.
Human shield.
The human shield.
Wall. Yeah. There you go. That sounds like the Abu Dhabi game plan.
It's got to be inside, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it'll probably be outside. I mean, we have a promo photo of a ring outside, but
I hope it's not. I hope it's outside. I hope that the referees have lasers on their heads. I hope every stupid thing you can think of happens during this event.
With freaking lasers on their heads.
Exactly.
I mean, shout out to Dana White though. Like he's slowly becoming Dr. Evil. Like the steroids eventually are going to like combust like a black hole, and he's going to become this shriveled up little person.
Yeah. Someone
Get this guy a monocle.
Someone who's good at Photoshop, please put Dr. Evil's head or Dr. Evil's body on Dana White's head and send that in. We'll hook you up with some stuff. Right, let's actually get to these fights. Yes. One of the early pay-per-view fights, Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas. Namajunas is the favorite, and I'm seeing over at mybookie.ag right now. She's -200. Jessica +160 going the other way. Which way are you leaning here, Rich?
Well, first of all, tell me that you really think that that's how you pronounce the last name of Rose. Just really go through that one again.
Namajunas.
That was better. Yeah. Namajunas. Rose Namajunas.
There you go.
Is the better fighter here. There's no question about it. Jessica Andrade, and we'll talk about something similar in the other women's fight on this one. Jessica Andrade is also her thing is that she's strong. She's really strong. She'll grab you up, and she's really strong. What she doesn't do well is move. She's bad at moving. Pretty bad at moving, and Rose Namajunas in the first fight was lighting her up on the feet, cracking her from the outside, moving laterally, hitting her over and over again. And she had a good solution. Andrade is really good at picking you up and throwing you on the ground. And she had a good solution for it. She hooked into Kimura every time that Jessica went down low, which would prevent her from doing any sort of slams. And then here's what happened to fight number one. One time, Jessica broke apart Rose's hands because she's real strong, and she slammed Rose in her head and messed her brain up, and Rose hasn't been fighting for a year. That's what happened in fight number one. That was for the title. Jessica took it. And now here we are in fight number two. And Jessica's already lost the title to Wei Li Zhang, who is kind of like Rose Namajunas, a talented lateral fighter who hits really hard and is super accurate. Rose is the better fighter and has the matchup here. It's really just a question of has she got her head on straight between what happened last time, what happened this time. I'm taking Rose. I'm taking her strong. And I don't know what the prop is on Rose to finish it, but I actually would take Rose inside the distance on this one potentially.
Yeah, it's a chip on her shoulder, revenge spot. Sean, you love the revenge spot. It's not the steepest of lines.
Yeah, I mean,
as Rich points out, fighting is a mental game. Remember what happened to Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah,
that ended quickly.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think you got to take the short favorite here. I'm with Rich.
When I go favorites in the UFC, it's much like the mini me. They got to be short. Give me Rose. I'll ride Rose minus 200.
Oh, all right. I thought you were gonna go as a short guy myself.
No, dude. Come on. I'm taller than Kyler Murray.
He's a solid 5'6", I think.
Rich. Well,
how
done.
dare you?
Well done.
I gave him what? I give you 2 extra inches?
No, zing. Sean was a backup tight end in high school. Yeah, please, exactly. No, he's at least 5'8".
Jose Aldo next fight against Peter Yan. Yan is I'm seeing, what is he sitting at? Minus 220 favorite. Aldo plus 180. Jose Aldo, I feel like kind of a fan favorite. What's the lean here, Rich?
Well, let's talk about who these two fighters are. It's crazy to me that there's even a thought in my timeline that I would be like, oh, let me talk about Jose Aldo as being a legitimate underdog. This guy is one of my all-time favorite fighters. And when he lost to Conor McGregor, it was a true heartbreaker for me. Since he lost to Conor McGregor, he has been borderline. He's been a borderline guy, top to bottom. Already lost to Volkanovski once. Lost to Marlon Moraes and had at his bantamweight debut, had to move down. Jose Aldo just isn't the guy anymore. He simply isn't the guy. And Yan is the guy right now. Peter Yan is not one of these guys who's been built up by fighting tomato cans. Yes, he got this title shot by knocking out Uriah Faber, who is totally washed. But before that, Jimmy Rivera, John Dodson, Douglas Silva, like a lot of good guys he fought before that. Peter Yan's the real deal. He hits hard. He moves well. He's in his prime. He's 14-1. Jose Aldo is completely on the down streak. And I think that in this one, when Peter Yan just starts chopping him away from the outside, it's going to be a very, very quick night. So not only do I think that Peter Yan is the right call here, I think there's a very good chance that you can get Peter Yan inside the distance on this one as well.
Oh, inside the distance. I'm seeing out there in the wild plus 110, plus 120. Yeah, I mean this is a classic tale of a name brand that's still going to garner some wagering because guess what, Sean? Not much going on in live sports.
Well,
everyone's betting these fights, and they know who Jose Aldo is because he, like Rich pointed out, he was for a little while pound for pound the number one guy, or at least arguably the number one guy. And I was in the same boat. I was not happy the night that asshole from Ireland came in. I believe I was in Vegas. I feel like it was like a March Madness fight or something like that, or maybe Super Bowl. And yeah, I think in this case you can get a tremendous deal on the much better fighter. Again, sitting there at the low minus 200s just because Jose Aldo's a name brand. Why isn't he a 4-1 dog here? He's washed. And God forbid this is an outdoor fight. That can't go well for the old guy. Although Aldo,
he doesn't have the tank anymore. He doesn't have the tank anymore for him. He's never had the greatest tank in the world, but certainly not anymore. Fighters have figured out how to make him work too much and, feint on him a bunch, get in some small exchanges, make him get tired, keeping volume up, and it gets Aldo tired pretty quickly. Now he's older.
Yeah.
He's older and he's cutting down to bantamweight. Remember, he's cutting down a whole weight class below.
Yeah.
I just think that this is Yan's fight to lose.
Yeah. And as an older guy, get a little older, the heat really bothers you.
Are you claiming older guy status?
Well, I mean, if we're saying Jose Aldo's old, he's old in fighter years, but I mean, I think there really is something, whatever the heat ends up being, just the fact that you're out in Abu Dhabi and, yeah, it's the same thing where you're out in Vegas. Like you just even if you're in an air condition, you somehow end up getting dehydrated.
Are people there already? Do we know?
Yeah, Rich.
Oh yeah, everyone's there. They got flown out on a private jet or on a customized. I think they might have even hired like Emirates Airlines or like one of those Abu Dhabi-ish airlines and customized it. And like everyone flew out first. All the fighters flew out first class. They took the UFC. For all of the treating their fighters terribly they do, they pulled out the stops for this one, and I think mostly it's because it's being funded by the government there. So
yeah, I mean they just have the infinite money. It's literally the money pool.
Yeah, so I'll ride Yan as well there. But yeah, I mean it's especially in these kind of circumstances in a hot climate. I think Sean, you got to lean to the young.
Will
guy.
You be watching Fight Island this weekend?
I'm going to be up in Mammoth Mountain. I think I could. I'm going to be hanging out. It's actually my birthday, so
you get to call the shot, right?
Yeah, I'll tell the wife.
Live
I'll probably
sports
go
round?
out. I'll probably go out to hopefully there's some sort of bar or somewhere you can watch it.
Yeah, tell her wife we're watching this because it's Fight Island.
I mean, she's got to be interested.
She does. Yeah, she likes. I mean, she does enjoy watching women beat the shit out of each other. Who doesn't? Speaking of which.
One more note on this fight is that this is for the vacant bantamweight title after the bantamweight title holder decided it was time to retire. So put that in context here. Jose Aldo's really being pulled into this one because they need a name to be in the title fight. More than anything, he's leapfrogging other fighters. So if you need any more reason why Peter Yan is the favorite here, it's that Jose Aldo's in this one so that someone people know is fighting for this belt.
Yeah, and if you're going to bet Yan, probably wait till as close as you can to the end, because like we've been saying, Aldo is the name brand. He'll probably get some action late.
But you aren't worried about the millions of fans listening to the sports gambling podcast?
We probably will be moving the line once Rich weighs in. Numbers seem to tighten up.
Yeah. Speaking of which, hey guys, the only time I ever hear from any of you fans on Twitter is on the occasion that I blow up one of your parlays that you made for like 17 fights and a cricket match. So how about when I keep putting money in your pocket like a young Nostradamus, that you throw me some Twitter love at Rich Slayton? Let's go. There's no Y in my name.
Rich, here's how it works. Always fuck you, never thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Oh dude, it's just so funny because we live it. You only hear from the losers. I gave out a winning DraftKings lineup that paid serious cash.
$200,000. No one trusted you enough to take that lineup. No one took
my lineup. Well, hopefully they'll take. The
last time I heard from anybody was when some guy posted a ticket on Twitter where he showed where he went against one of my picks to hit his parlay, and I was like, oh good, thanks, I appreciate it.
He really does like you though.
Oh, sweet. What a sweet guy.
Next fight. We have another lady fight. Paige Vanzant.
Ooh, that's a nice
big
name.
Dog. I'm seeing as high as plus 520.
Holy Toledo.
And then going the other way, Amanda Ribas. Now my instinct, she's a huge favorite at Ribas.
Oh no! I thought you were going to bet Van Zant because that's who you are.
Well, here's the thing, Rich. I am going to bet Van Zant because I'm a maniac and I'm a
#Legends only.
Because Amanda, as much as she probably, and I'm sure you're going to make a great case of why she's just someone you toss in a parlay, you don't think anything more about it. She came out and said she wanted to bet on herself.
Whoa!
Now, I know as a gambler, if you see a minus 820 line that you're personally involved in, and then you're betting on it, that is a recipe for a jinx. If I've ever seen one, Paige is going to come through. Tell me why I'm crazy, Rich.
Well, because Amanda Ribas is one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners and best judo players in the entire division. By far. She's been running through people like she should. She's been phenomenal here in the UFC in her 3 outings. And Paige Vanzant is strong. That's her whole thing, is that she's really tough. And other than that, she's really tough.
Sounds like someone you want to back at plus 525.
It's just one of those ones where Rebus, there's not really a place where Paige Vanzant wins this fight. The way that Paige wins this fight is she's strong and she pressures early and she catches Rebus and capitalizes on that. But that's why the line is like this, because there's really just one way. She does not win a fight without just catching Rebus. But Rebus can grab her, choke her, slam her, throw on her head, choke her out, rip her arm off, and is the better striker on top of all.
Sean, Paige, nicknamed 12 Gauge. That's pretty awesome.
Hell yeah.
She's also quite attractive in her UFC promo shot. You might want to look that up. She almost looks like.
She has a very large mouth. I don't know.
Who's the comedian, blonde chick?
Oh,
that narrows it down.
Almost looks
I know
like that.
who you're talking
I'm really
about.
crushing the references right now. So to your point, Sean, if you're going to go dog here, maybe you go, she wins by knockout. She wins inside the distance, something along those lines. You can take Vanzant by knockout for plus 1700 out there in the wild.
Give me a little taste of that.
That's the only good Paige Vanzant bet. Well, and it's not even a good one. It's not a good one. But it's the only acceptable one.
I'm trying to polish a turd over here, Rich. So I appreciate the compliment.
Sure. No, you nailed it. You found the only way that I can agree with this degenerate putting money on Paige Vanzant.
All right, Sean.
Wow, I'm gonna follow her on Instagram. Hold on. What are you, Kramer? What are you doing? Are you doing the smart thing?
Yeah, no. I mean, again, if you want to take your side of it, don't play the plus 5 whatever. Take the plus 1700, the plus 2000 on her to knock her out, because that's how it happens if she wins.
Yeah, Paige does not win a 15-minute fight here. No. It's just not going to happen.
She might win the battle at the bar afterwards, because she is smoking. All right, Sean.
All right,
on to the co-main event.
The co-main event: Max Holloway squaring off against Alexander Volkanovski.
Ooh,
Volkanovski, a minus 210 favorite. Holloway plus 175, going the other way. Rich, what are you doing here?
Well, these odds have kind of flip-flopped from the last time they fought. And that's one of the interesting parts about this fight. They've done it before. It was a close fight before, and Volkanovski won, but he won it in 5 rounds and won a fight that, honestly, if it went 10, Max Holloway probably would have won. Holloway is a cerebral fighter. He's a slow starter, a notorious slow starter. And long story boring, Volkanovski got off early, cracked his legs a whole bunch, won the first part of the fight, faded in the later rounds. In the last 2 rounds, Holloway won those 2, but Holloway couldn't put him away, and he lost the decision. Essentially on most cards, I believe it was 3 rounds to 2 on most cards. Holloway's the better fighter here. He's smarter. He's got more ways to win. And the fact that people look at his record right now and go, but hey, Rich, he's lost 2 of his last 3. Let's put those in context. He went up in weight to lightweight to fight Dustin Poirier for the lightweight for the interim lightweight championship, and lost that in a 5-round fight of the night. And then he lost this Volkanovski fight where he gave up his title in a fight that really, again, like I said, he would have won, in my opinion, if it went into round 6 or round 7. The big thing here for Holloway is whether he's checking the leg kicks. He didn't check the leg kicks really much at all in the first round, or the first 3 rounds of that first fight. Then when he switched stances, was able to light up Volkanovski. I think that Holloway's too smart to let that happen again. My guess is that Holloway makes the adjustments and gets it done this time. The real question is, how does he get it done? Right? For me, the real question, you can take him on the straight up and down line, which I think is plus 170. I think that Holloway winning this one. There's like 3 props that I can make good arguments for. Right? You can take Holloway to finish it, which hasn't happened to Volkanovski very often because he's only lost 1 fight, and that was back in his regional days. You can take Holloway to finish it at like plus 7 something, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's plus 750. You can take Holloway to win the decision by plus 300, or you can go super crazy and take Holloway, in my opinion, in round 2 at plus 1600.
Oh, I love that. Is a D-Gens only pick if I've ever heard one.
All right,
Sean,
sign me up.
Sean, he forgot to mention one thing. You always bet on motherfuckers from Hawaii. Those dudes are tough as nails
and used to the heat and fighting on islands.
Here we go.
That's a good point.
Just watch Moana with the little one too, so I'm all island up. I'm ready to go. Max Holloway's my guy. I couldn't believe he was a dog here. I feel incredibly smart right now because I'm on the same side of Rich in every one of these fights.
It's a good place
far.
to be. I'll also roll with you on Holloway.
Yeah, Max Holloway. I mean, I love the angle. See, for me, the prop I would go for is I just think he's going to outlast him and he wins in decision. So you can juice up that plus 170, plus 180 up to plus 300. Is that what you said, Rich? I like that angle. That would be the angle I would play if I wanted to get crazy. But I'm okay just taking plus 170 on this dude. He's winning this fight. Right.
And I plus 170. I think I just saw I refreshed it over at mybookie.ag promo code SGP. It's up to 185.
Oh, please, yes, please.
And they must have our lines tapped. The over under for the rounds is 4.5. Now I would normally, from just hearing everyone and thinking about this fight a little bit, I would lean to over 4.5. But the juice is crazy. The juice is minus 250 on the over. I mean, I like Rich's.
Oh, really?
If it gets closer to even, I would definitely pound the over. But at minus 250, I'd stay away. I like that plus 185 and 16-1 in a fight. Yeah, give me a little taste.
I feel
of
like
that.
the decision's a better angle, and honestly, you can go unanimous decision if you want to juice it up even further at plus 400. But again, I think just play it safe. You can get almost 2-1 on this guy.
I think you're right. I think that the straight up line on Holloway is good. Decision's good. I'm just, there's something there. You know those feelings you get where you're just like, why am I feeling this?
I like
You're right. I'm going to tell everyone listening, Kramer's right. Take by decision or take the money line. If you want to have some fun, there's something about that plus 1600 for round 2 that feels right. I don't know why.
I like the lottery tickets. Those are fun because when they hit, you're a goddamn boss.
Mm-hmm.
Final fight of the night in Fight Island this Saturday. What time do they actually start? Is there like a crazy time difference I got to be aware of, Rich?
I don't think so.
Actually, I don't know. I think they usually just make it work for the American audience.
Hell yeah, USA. We got George Masvidal squaring off against Kamaru Usman. Usman is the big favorite. Right now, I'm saying Usman at minus 265, Masvidal plus 195. Rich, help us through this final fight.
Yeah, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal is the fight that, in case you guys were curious which fight we're actually talking about. And look, the reality is that Kamaru Usman is good specifically at the things that Jorge Masvidal is bad at defending.
Yep.
He's good at pressuring you. He's good at taking you down. And that's something that, I mean, Damian Maia took him down a bunch. Lorenz Larkin took him down a bunch. Benson Henderson took Masvidal down a bunch. Ben Askren probably would have if he didn't get knocked out in the first 5 seconds by a flying knee because he decided to throw his face at his knee. Masvidal is an exciting fighter. A champion? I don't know. He beat Nate Diaz, who kind of didn't feel like he show up, right? He beat Ben Askren, who I like Ben Askren a lot, but who's kind of a goofball. There's nothing about Jorge Masvidal that tells me that he is truly elite. He is simply a really exciting, fun fighter who I will pay to watch fight people. Kamaru Usman's good, specifically the things that Masvidal does poorly, and I think that in this one the line is pretty accurate. I don't think there's any good reason. I mean, Masvidal's live, obviously. I don't think there's a compelling argument for betting against Usman unless there is some crazy odds boost to Jorge Masvidal by knockout that you want to throw some money on to get your blood pumping.
Yeah, and honestly, what I came to this show prepared to give to the Kramer gang and the listeners of the Sports Gambling Podcast was a main event parlay.
Oh wow!
Because I think you take the favorite in this one. I think you tie it to the Hawaiian at that plus 185 price. And everything gets very nice because, as Rich says, they should swap these fights because I don't think this is going to be much of a fight. I think
remember Masvidal wasn't scheduled for this fight. Masvidal signed up just stepped in to fill in on this fight. So he's a late replacement, hasn't had a full camp. He's just the guy who will fight anyone anywhere, and that includes getting a COVID test, boarding his flight from I think Florida. And flying across the world to Abu Dhabi so he can fight on an island, try to get a payday.
Another fun way to parlay this fight is to tie it to Yan again, because of that, that discount you're going to get betting against Aldo. I just, the guys, listen, the last guy with the nickname of the Nigerian Nightmare, we loved Christian Okoye. the next one, he's gonna win us some money on Fight Island, UFC 251.
All right, you talked me into it. Give me Usman. Maybe, yeah. I like where your head's at, Kramer. The Usman Holloway parlay.
You want to have fun? Usman, Holloway, Yan round robin parlay. All the way around
to the newbies. Explain the round robin. So you're taking
all three of those fighters, and you're going to do two person parlays. So you're going to do Holloway and Usman. You're going to do Usman and Yan, and you're going to do Yan and Holloway. So you're rolling, like and then if you're a real DJ, and then you do a 3 fighter parlay, just because what if you don't want to miss out if they all hit,
and then tie it all to Paige Vanzant, baby.
Oh, you maniac!
Let's go.
I'm not. I'm not gonna. No. I'm not parlaying the ladies.
All right,
not parlaying the ladies.
All right.
One more addition to why I just thought I forgot to make this point about Holloway over Volkanovski. One more point there that I think is valuable. We're talking about Peter Yan not fighting cans on the way up. Volkanovski, not counting this Max Holloway fight, got fed a bunch of dudes in the UFC who were either regionals or old brokens, right? So his UFC record is 7-0, but it's against first of it is 3 regional fighters. Then it's an old Darren Elkins. Then it's a now retired after that fight Chad Mendez, and then an old busted up Jose Aldo. So I don't buy the Volkanovski hype that much. So one more argument there in favor of Holloway that I forgot to put out there.
I really like my parlay. I'm just gonna pat myself on the back for coming up with that one, Sean.
It's brilliant.
Congratulations, Kramer.
Thank you.
And Rich, as we close things out here, what would you call your lock is, and then maybe some. It seems like the dog you like most is Holloway.
Yeah, Holloway is for sure the dog that I like the most. He's not that long of a dog. Although, was Namajunas the dog or the favorite in the fight against Andrade?
She was the favorite.
Yeah, she's the
favorite. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
But you threw that Holloway second round plus 1,600. That's a pretty crazy dog.
Yeah, that's certainly my favorite dog. I don't think I see any way that Paige Vanzant beats Rebus besides Rebus slipping and kind of breaking her toe or something. So my lock is Rebus.
Ooh,
there you go. Any other parlays?
My lock is that three-way round robin all the way down parlay. Holloway, Usman, Yan. Let's go, baby.
I don't. You know what? I don't mind. If you want to have some fun with a parlay, Namajunas and Yan both inside the distance.
Ooh, okay.
Oh wow.
Parlay those together. All right, co-sign that. Except your Rebus play. I'm going Paige Vanzant. That's my dog. My lock.
She's like the Vince Papale of fighters.
No one believed in her. Yeah, my lock. Throw Holloway in there, and then like Rich said, sprinkle a little Holloway in the second. That sounds pretty fun.
We're gonna mush this guy. God damn it.
The poor R.I.P. Max Holloway.
Hawaii strong, bro.
Well, Rich, appreciate you calling in as always. Make sure you follow Rich Slayton on Twitter and compliment him on all his winning picks at Rich Slayton. And Rich, where else can people check you out?
If you want to compete in live streamed Clash Royale, trovo.live/Rich Slayton. There you go.
Shout out.
I'm running open money tournaments. There you go. It's open money tournaments every single week. So come try your hand. See if you can win some cash.
Oh, wow. D-Gens only.
D-Gens only.
Hashtag Degens only.
Thanks to Rich and
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
And for the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green, and he is Ryan.
I'll see you in Fight Island.
Kramer, let it ride.